going on, guys, and welcome back to the Hungry Road. Today I'm actually in Dearborn, Michigan, but I was in London, Ontario yesterday. That's where I've been all week. Doesn't matter, I picked this car up from the Detroit airport. National rental car always has some of the best stuff out there. So I pulled up, I saw like a nice beautiful orange Mustang with the black stripe, the little 5.0 or whatever. Is that a 5.0? I said, yeah, let me bring it up for you. So he went and got it. Bro, it sounds great, but it was a 2020. It's old. I need something newer. And I just walked into the lot, and there's a 2022 Alfa Romeo Giulia sitting here. That's what this is, by the way. And it's the Q4, so it's the all-wheel drive version. So I have never driven one of these. I have driven their counterpart, which is the Maserati Ghibli, and that's more like a luxury sports car. This one kind of like I want to say it's kind of luxury sport, but it's more tuned towards sport than it is luxury. Like Maserati is more tuned towards luxury than sport. I hope that makes sense. So let's get into it. Now this example here is an Alfa Romeo white. It's a very base color, standard. There's no extra money for it, but it's nice. It's clean. There's nothing crazy about it. It's not flat white, but it's a gloss white. That's about it. But I do like the black roof, how it's kind of split up. It kind of splits the white up a little bit, so it doesn't make it like a blob of white just going on the road with all the white around us right now. But I'm led to believe this trim. Now there are 4 trims for the Alfa Romeo Giulia. There's the Sprint, which is the base model. Then there's the TI, which is this one, which comes with the dual panoramic sunroof right there. You also get these wheels standard, but then you get the Veloce. Then there's the Quadrifoglio, and that's the one that has a little green clover leaf on the side. You get the bigger engine, you get all the top of the line stuff. But what I'm a little confused about is, if this is the TI trim, why don't I have the badge? There should be a little badge right on the front fender that says Q. But these are the TI wheels, and you get the sunroof. So I don't know who optioned the car up, but no matter. If they chose these wheels with the sunroof just to give it a more, or they took the badges off, who knows, who cares. But this car here is powered by a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo engine, making about 280 horsepower, 306 pound-feet of torque. Now, Alfa Romeo says this is the best in its class. This is a mid-size car. You can see how small it is. Not full-size by any means, but the thing does get up and get going. 0 to 60 in about 5.1 seconds, and again, all-wheel drive, but the rear wheels do most of the driving. So, for example, if you're just driving on the street, it's a rear-wheel drive. But if you need the extra front wheel traction, it kicks in about 0.15 seconds. Really, really good stuff. I've been driving it all for 2 weeks, actually, through the snow up in London, Ontario. You can see the snow around me right now. It does a really good job keeping me on track. I didn't have any fears at all. And if you want to kick it out a little bit, you give it a little gas, it'll kick out for you. So let's discuss the front end styling right here. It's very unique and very Alfa. You have the V Scudetto grille right there in the front, which is that big V, which is like almost on every one of their models, every one of their cars. You just know it's an Alfa. It's very similar to Maserati's vertical slat. You just know it's that car. You know what I'm talking about. But on either side of the grille, we do have the bi-xenon adaptive headlamps that actually will turn with you when you're going around a corner, so you can see a pedestrian coming or deer or anything like that. Down here we have your adaptive cruise control radar. Now I have had some problems with this. Like I said, I've been driving in the snow and the rain, whatever. If this gets covered up, you can't use it. Obviously, you probably shouldn't be using it if it's raining or snowing, because you should be paying attention to the road and not really. I don't know. But it gives you a warning on the dash, like, can't use adaptive cruise control or front end collision warning because these things are covered up. Obviously, it's snow and stuff down here. It's pretty caked up on there right now. I just got it washed, and on the way back to where I'm filming, snow got on it. But it's a nice looking front end. I actually really like it. It's a bit softer than the Maserati Ghibli. I'm going to compare the two cars a lot because I have driven one before. I actually had a loaner for about a week when I had my Maserati getting fixed a while ago. That was 2015, maybe 26, who knows. But so I have some experience with both cars, and it's a much softer looking, the whole car really much softer. So let's check out the back end here. Very nice and very smooth, very just kind of traditional and simple. Nothing crazy back here. No giant diffuser with slats and all kind of stuff. We have the name pronounced Giulia. We do have the trim level Q4. If you didn't have the all-wheel drive, it would just say nothing. We have the big logo right here in the front. License plate holder. I actually like it when license plates are like way down here. You know what I'm talking about? Some of those cars you can put like the license plate way down here. This just kind of like breaks up the trunk a little bit. I don't like the way it looks. My favorite part of the back end, the exhaust pipes. Look how they're just like situated so smoothly into the bumper. It is so, I don't know how to express it. I just really like it. Look, like they belong there. Like they're not hanging underneath. They're not like jutting way out here. They fit right in where they should be. But anyway, we do have your rear parking assist parking assist sensors right here, LED tail lights and running lights, all that, pretty basic stuff. Reverse cameras right here. It's off to the side a little bit. Now, I don't like when cars do that. I like it for being in the center. Well, I'm a stickler for that. But we also have a trunk button underneath here, right here. And to the left of the trunk button, we do have the lock button. So you can actually lock the car from back here as well. So here are the keys for the Alfa Romeo Giulia. They're nice, fat, chunky keys. Look at these things. They're not very heavy though, but we do have the unlock button in the top left corner. Lock button, press this button twice to open the trunk, this button twice to remote start the car. You gotta be kind of close for that. And you have the panic button, your nice logo right on the bottom and on the back. Nice little logo as well. But like most cars, or most of these Chrysler products, keep your keys in your pocket, grab the door handle, it'll unlock it. You can open it this way, and you wanna lock it, press a little button right here, a horn, or you'll hear it lock. I have the car running right now because it's warm, or 15 degrees outside, I gotta warm up. Like I mentioned before, this is how you open the trunk. Press this button twice and the trunk will open up. There we go. It's not motorized, but it pops all the way up. Decent amount of space in here. I have my duffel bag right here, enough room for like one big suitcase. We do have the 40-40-20 split, so you can fold all the seats down and get everything to pass through there. And you can do that right here by pulling these handles, and the seats will fall down. It's all manual or whatever. Nice raw looking interior in there, but there's not much to the trunk. It's a mid-size sedan. It's not going to give you, enough room for 4 or 5 passengers worth of luggage. Just kind of like you and somebody else. All right, y'all, you know what time it is when you see this angle. Let's see how it sounds. We are inside the 2022 Alfa Romeo Giulia Q4 Ti trim. Well, I think it's Ti. We don't know yet. But we're heading out, getting ready to go to the airport. Gotta drop the car off. I've enjoyed my time with it. But as you always know, we gotta get some highway pulls in and all that kind of stuff. Let's go over the drive modes real quick. So there are 3 different drive modes. It's part of Alfa Romeo's DNA program. So you have on the selector here, the car starts off in neutral, and then there's a adaptive, which is like for low grip sort of situations, and fuel economy. If you want to save a bunch of fuel, or I don't know how much fuel you're going to save, you can turn the dial counterclockwise and put it into A. But that's not how we drive here on the hungry road, where there's never an empty tank or an empty stomach. We put it in D, which is the dynamic. It stiffens up the suspension, gives a better throttle response, gives a more tight steering, a little more sporty feel. Again, this is a sporty car. Now, I do have a stop sign in front of me. We're going to do a highway, not a highway pull, but a nice telegraph pull. But it's a lot of snow on the ground, so I don't know how much traction I'm going to get. But you know I'm going to punch it. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, slipping. This thing is quick, man. Again, it was slipping and sliding back there, so it wasn't the greatest little pull. We do have a little highway pull up there. But I want to talk to you guys about something. While driving this car over the last 2 weeks, Alfa Romeo to me is supposed to be like I would consider it a premium brand. Because when I hear things like Mercedes, BMW, Lexus, Infiniti, brands like that, I in my head, I place them on a tier. Then I hear Maserati, Alfa Romeo, and I kind of put them on a tier just above those other brands. Then there's stuff like Lamborghini, Ferrari, we can get in a Spiker. Then there's like Koenigsegg, Pagani. Don't worry about it. But I felt like I expected more out of this car. Now, granted, this car base price is only like $43,500. Now, that's not bad. You get the leather seat, you get the infotainment system, you get the blind spot warning, you get the front end collision, the rear end collision. Backup cameras is standard. You get adaptive cruise control. All these things come standard. You do get the power, but like the quality is I won't say lacking a little bit, but it is kind of. Like, for example, if I lean back, if you look right here, I don't know if you can see, but you can see the exterior paint of the door through the panel gap. Like it's like this big. I can clearly see white there. I mean, you got to be able to see it. Look. You got to be able to see it. And that's like, that's not good build quality. That panel gap should be much closer than that. And also, yesterday I was driving through this winter storm, whatever, it was pretty bad. I ain't gonna hold you up. The car was like rattling. Like, this is a 2022, and I've put maybe 600, 800 miles on the car. So I had 2,500 miles on it when I got it, but like, why is the car rattling and stuff like that? Like, that's not a good look. It was all coming from back there, and I didn't have anything in the back seat. Everything was in a trunk, but I had suitcases. Suitcases don't rattle, they thud. So like, what is rattling back there? And that was kind of a little bit of a turn off. Obviously, with my music on and stuff like that, you probably can't really hear it, but I'm on a phone call. Yeah, you hear rattling. Like, what is that? So I don't know if it's just this example of the Giulia, or are they all built like that? I mean, I don't even know where they're built. This is the Italian Stallion, one of the Italian Stallions. Fiat owns Maserati, Alfa Romeo, Chrysler, all those companies. Like, but I do think like the build quality has suffered just a bit when Fiat took them over. Like I said, I've owned 2 Maseratis, both were Maserati built, and I never had like rattling and stuff like that in the car, and I put tens of thousands of miles on those cars. So I don't know. We'll get to that later. Actually, we won't. I just discussed it. All right, leaving the neighborhood. Let's see if we can set up a nice 0 to 60 with no. Oh yes. So what we're gonna do? Put ourselves in the middle of the road like this. All right, we're at 0. We are in dynamic, and we're gonna mash it in 3, 2, 1. Oh, okay. There's 60. 5.1 seconds, man. Felt like it. Yeah, that's a nice little torquey engine on a wet road in the middle of winter. Good times. This is a nice little engine. 2-liter 4-cylinder. That's the beauty of turbos, man. They taking things to the next level. But driving the car is very sporty. Let's go with sporty. It's a bit stiff. Again, as you can see, you hear the rattle? As you can see, it's a sporty car. It's a sports sedan, probably at the likes of the BMW like 3 Series, or like a Lexus. I don't know, do they make an IS250? I don't know, my Lexus is like that. So we do have a little roundabout here. Let's see how this thing handles. Like on a wettish, snowy-ish road. Any other cars coming? Yeah, one on the other side. We can get through before they get through. Stuff get thrown around in the back seat. Mash it. All right. But while I have your attention, let's go through some of the interior, because it's too cold outside for me to have the door open and sit and talk to you about things. You can kind of see the interior. It's a nice, decent layout. We do have the nice, gorgeous screen right here, which is integrated into the dashboard, not just a screen plopped up here like a lot of cars are doing these days. I don't like that at all. I like it when the screen is built in and it looks like it belongs there. Does that make sense? I hope it does. We do have some like aluminum sort of, is this wood? This definitely ain't wood, but it's something over here. I actually feel the grain and the texture of it, which is really nice. Steering wheel is pretty simple. There's not much to it. On the left side over here, we do have your adaptive cruise control. You can change how far or how close you want the car in front of you to be. We have a blank switch under that. I have no idea what that is. That might be self-driving. I don't know. I don't have that package in this car. Just to the right of that button, we have the way to change the velocity, how fast you're going. You go up, go down, whatever. And then we have the button to actually activate it and deactivate it, and a blank under that. Wonder what that is. All right, y'all, leaving the Wendy's drive-through. Just filmed a little video on their new hot honey chicken sandwich. Click in the top left or top right corner of your screen and check it out. It's pretty solid. So we got a highway pull coming up here, and let's see what this thing can do. The highway's got to be clear, right? They saw those kind of first so that the truckers can get through. But let's put it in dynamic mode. Here we go, back in dynamic mode. Nice little cute little display right there. And you trying to get over, bro? All right, so right now we're doing 35. Can we go any slower? 34, 33, 32, 31. Let's mash it. Okay. Hear those rabbits running on that wheel, that 4-cylinder turbo engine going crazy. 85. Should I say that out loud on camera? Who knows? Y'all know where I'm at. But anyway, yeah, man, this car has a lot of power. Well, yeah, 280 horsepower is actually pretty good for a car that weighs probably like 3,600 pounds. I have no idea how much it actually weighs. I must have missed that part when I was looking researching this car. But very quick, especially with the all-wheel drive. I mean, you get all 4 wheels turning. You get a lot of torque. 300-something foot-pounds of torque is actually a lot of torque. Yeah, this is a lot of power for a car this size. So again, I think Alfa is good at just don't want to. I don't want to compare. No, I won't dare make the comparison. But it got a lot of power from a small engine in a small car. It makes sense. So I like it. But I would be still interested in that Quadrifoglio because that has like some ridiculous amount of power, 550 horsepower, something crazy. But one of the coolest features of this car is where the stop-start button is. If you see my thumb right here, that's it. You get in, you put your hand on the wheel, and you press the start button, you're off to the races. That reminds me of like a Ferrari. Like Ferrari has their buttons on the steering wheel just like this one. I know Lamborghini has a little flip switch down here, like an airplane, whatever, but this is so cool. I've never seen any other, I haven't been in any other car where the button is right here, and I quickly got used to it. It wasn't bad at all, and it's comfortable. Like I don't have to reach over here or anything. I just right here, my hand's gonna be on the wheel anyway. Boom, start, stop. Nice job, Alfa Romeo. We gotta talk about the paddle shifters. Just like in the Maserati Levante review I did, these are enormous paddle shifters and they feel great to click. So let's put the car in manual mode right now. As you can see, there's not much to do in front, but I do need to demonstrate this. We're gonna slide the gear lever over to our left. Okay, now we're in manual mode. In the top left corner of my screen, I do have M4, which is manual 4th gear. And I believe this is an 8-speed transmission. And right now we're doing about 1,800 RPM. Let's click the left paddle one time, down shifted to gear 3, again to gear 2, and then up gear 3, up gear 4. These are very satisfying to click, just like the ones in the Levante. These feel a little lighter to me than those, but that's okay. But I love the feel of these. They're huge. A lot of these paddle shifters these days are like really small, or almost like buttons. Like, what's even the point of having the paddle shifter there? I don't want to click a button to change gears. I want to do a Houston Crosser and yam that thing like that. You gotta watch his videos. He's hilarious. He does this whole thing. I want to do it again. I'm gonna do it again when we get on the highway, but yamming it. Yeah, now let's get back over to drive because obviously I can't go anywhere in front of me. The seats are actually pretty interesting. Like I've reiterated numerous times, this is more of a sports car and they hug you. Now there's actually a setting on the seat where you can move the bolsters in, and the bolsters are going to be these things on the side of you that kind of keep you in place when you're going around a corner or whatever. I know Mercedes has that feature where if you go around a corner, one bolster will inflate to keep you like upright so you're not thrown against the car, but that's not what this has. You can adjust the bolsters to make them tighter. So like when I first got in the car, some super skinny person, probably half my size, must have been driving, because I was like, wow, this seat is tight. I gotta return this car. But then I found a button to widen it out, so it felt a lot better. But yeah, it's interesting. Like, I don't know, are these are sports seats or something? Because I kind of can chill, but like not like all the way. Like I don't feel laxed. I don't feel like I'm in a luxury cruiser kind of thing. Like I feel like I need to be upright and driving and all that kind of stuff. So that's the kind of feeling this car gives me. And I don't know about other seat options and stuff like that, but that's just my take on it. I'm a 265 pound, 5'9" kind of brawny dude, and yeah, that's it. I don't know. This seat's okay. I've driven hours and 1,000 miles in this car. Like it's decent. Like I'm not hurting when I get out the car or anything. I just don't feel like I can, chill. Like the Volvo or the BMW or any of those cars. I feel like I really chill in those. Not quite this one. My climate control is still button based, which I do appreciate. There is a screen or an option inside the main screen here where you can trigger or do whatever you want with the climate control, but all your options are right down here. Heated seats, change my direction of the fan. Ooh, I put the car in park on accident. Let's put it back in drive by holding the button in the front and pull all the way back. Here we go. What I was saying, we have dual zone climate, so we have a climate on the right, climate on the left. I can change temperatures, but like twisting the dial, whatever. It's pretty self-explanatory, pretty standard, nothing crazy to go over there. I do have a nice storage pocket in front. I do not believe it is a wireless charger because that's back here. Oh, got some cheese from my Wendy's sandwich. And USB port up front, 2 cup holders up front. I mean, it's a decent interior. It's pretty straightforward, pretty simple, pretty user friendly, which I do enjoy. Alfa also simplified things by making the steering wheel very just simple. So if you want to access the menu that's in the gauge cluster, you got to push this little button over here. See, it says menu right there, and you click that, it'll kind of cycle through different things there. So you get 4 different slots to choose from: blank, your speedometer, trip stuff, and then yeah,